we all expected 3-0, but not the 3-0 that we got. In the era of peddling agendas, doing PRs, Rohit Sharma has done one thing, made MS Dhoni look a better test captain. Do you guys, I don't know, that's my view. Do you guys agree with that or not? That's another
No, but you
thing.
have to credit Rohit Sharma for it. That's selflessness.
So, oh yes.
The way he has paid a tribute to his former captain. Because see, he's doing it for the betterment of Indian cricket. जब आप 12
What
साल
is
में
that?
12 साल में एक टेस्ट मैच हार सकते हैं, 130 साल में एक
चलता
सीरीज
है।
हार सकते हैं, चलता है.
चलता है.
It's good for Indian cricket.
Yeah.
A legendary move from Gambhir and Rohit. Hats off.
Yeah, it looked terrible, didn't it? This loss. And the way we lost it also. Like, I guess somebody wrote it. I think you only wrote it that at one point of time, spin used to be India's strength. And now it's like our kryptonite. Losing 3-0 at home.
Whatever we can laugh at it, we can make memes, we can look at memes and laugh at it, Saurabh. But over the weekend, it was tough watching what unfolded in Mumbai. Over the years, I still remember Ravi Shastri telling the media that, okay, we at least compete in overseas conditions. But when you guys come to India, you guys can't compete. And that he said that and it looked bullish at that time. But Rohit and Virat and Ravi Shastri nearly didn't allow anything to happen. They played on rank turners. They played on good sporting wickets. They played on all kind of wickets. Probably the concept of rank turners began from that era where you had the opportunity to prepare rank turners and use your spinners. But can you point out any reason, lesson like against England earlier this year? India lost the first test, but they came back and won the series. Against Bangladesh, that terrific effort in Kanpur, take nothing away from that. But what happened suddenly? And are New Zealand that good? Or what happened suddenly in a span of like 15 days?
I think Inshu should answer that.
I think, like, for me, the thing is that what happened against England was that we played in very good wickets, like balanced wickets, so to speak. Against New Zealand, you got spooked in the Bengaluru test, decided to prepare rank turners and played right into their hands who were carrying 4 spinners with them. But having said that, we have seen signs of both Rohit and Virat failing or our top batters failing over the past few years. And I think it essentially culminated in the New Zealand series. My argument is that we are not as bad as we looked and we are not as good as we looked against Bangladesh in Kanpur, if that makes sense.
A lot of us have been saying that, okay, these were rank turners. But to me, these were not rank turners.
No,
the Pune of 2017, that was a
Yes.
rank turner.
Yeah.
The pitches that we welcomed South Africa with in 2016, those were rank turners. Your approach, Saurabh, you started with that selfless approach.
Yeah.
That I will come down the track and smash the fast bowler for 30 quick runs and set the tone for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
What was this pitch difficult? Was this pitch were these pitches the kind of pitches where you would cross 200 only twice in 6 innings? No, absolutely not. You played, you completely steered away from that phase where you didn't even look to grind it out. In his column, Sunil Gavaskar, we've discussed so many Sunil Gavaskar columns on the Sledging room, but today he made a very basic point. Test cricket is all about, blunting that new ball and giving, your lower middle order batter and middle order batters that opportunity to, survive and score runs. That is exactly what people in the past have been doing.
Yeah.
But when your captain comes down the track and smashes Matt Henry for a 4 and thinks he can do that twice in 2 overs, is absolute, rubbish. How? I don't know. Some people are saying that probably Rohit's test decline has started to mask it. He's doing this approach. No. He scored 500 runs against England only earlier this year.
Yeah.
I think he's a little confused. He's not being able to compartmentalize formats. It's appalling. And to say that, okay, these are rank turners, no, I won't agree with that. These were not rank turners. If you had applied, you could have still scored 250, 300 runs. And that would have been enough.
That application is definitely missing. Like,
William.
sorry, like, I just want to say that when that I keep going back to that Gambhir conference just before the test series, where he says that our brand is the winning brand of cricket. Yes, we can score 400 in a day, and we can also bat two days to save a test match. we did not see anything of that sort throughout the New Zealand series.
Yeah.
First day, you were under the pump against New Zealand.
Hmm.
You decided to get out 46.
Yeah.
All out. And then from there on, it's just, apart from that second innings in Bengaluru, it's just bad to worse, right? No batter has even once shown the adaptability that they can play the first 100 balls and then see where the match goes.
Of course.
And that should be questioned,
Yeah.
essentially. Because when I was growing up, in my era, when Wasim Jaffer used to play some 80 balls, score 40 runs and get out, he got dropped for that. But in this era, suddenly, scoring a fast 20 or a 30 is a start. In my era, that wasn't even a start at that point. And that, I think, needs to be looked into. When Gambhir says that my brand is winning brand, where is it? Show it to us. We are waiting.
Yeah.
Please.
See, 3 New Zealand batters faced more than 300 balls in this series. Will Young, Rachin Ravindra and Devon Conway, if I'm not wrong. But only one, Yashashvi, managed to play 300 or more. You know, we can discuss so many things, Yashashvi, Shubman Gill. But two people who have played Test cricket for so long, who have, Virat is a doyen of all formats. And he has played Test cricket in India, overseas, he has found success. But to suddenly see them score 93 and 91 runs across 3 tests, is it time for them to probably go?
To answer your first question, maybe I'm late, but let me answer that first. This has not happened overnight.
Yeah. So what I asked you was, in 15 days, what changed?
Things have been going downhill in the last 6 years, if you look at it.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli's form, Rohit Sharma as an opener was successful. But apart from them, if you look at Indian batting, if I point out the major test wins of India, your lower order batters used to come and bail you out. Shamis, Bumrahs, Washington Sundars, Shardul Thakurs.
Yeah.
You talk about the Gaba win, the Lord's Test win, the Oval Test win. In the BGT at home, it was Akshay Patel who bailed you out. So these were bailing you out and you were lucky. Against Bangladesh also, Ashwin and Jadeja bailed you out in the first test. So your top order was never scoring runs, never.
And you would have lost a test match in Bangladesh a couple of years ago.
If not for Shreyas Iyer and R. Ashwin. That also coming after batting at number 5, 6 and 7. So now the thing is...
So are you saying that the top order has been a consistent failure?
So, the problem with Indian cricket is there are two demigods, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. So what happened was, in the last WTC cycle, because they were not scoring runs and along with them, there were two other senior batters, Rahane and Pujara. Rahane and Pujara were thrown out. Now, they do not have another senior batters. So now what they are doing is, now they are putting the scanner on Ashwin and Jadeja to take the scanner away from Rohit and Virat.
But they just scored a century, right? Ashwin and Jadeja.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is how the PR works. And I will tell you, let me finish it. I will tell you. And the PR is not just the people who are on social media. The PR is former cricketers like Sunil Gavaskar, Sanjay Manjrekar. These are the PR people. Yes, these are PR people of Rohit Sharma. Because every time a thing happens, none of these questioned Sarfraz Khan when he failed. They would have their all their problems with Virat Kohli, with Jaiswal. If Jaiswal plays a poor shot, what is that shot? But when Sarfraz Khan got out for duck, nobody questioned him. I did not see any reaction from Gavaskar, nor was there any reaction from this guy, Sanjay Manjrekar. Even then, when I think this New Zealand pacer was on commentary, Simon Dole, he questioned, Sunny, what do you think about this shot? Oh yeah, that was a poor shot. Stop being a PR man.
But don't you think that the focus should be on Rohit, Virat, Ashwin, Jadeja, then Sarfaraz and Jaiswal? I understand both of them played poor shots.
I am not questioning. I am not talking about Sarfaraz. I am showing how the PR works.
Okay.
So the PR started with, first you pushed out who? Rahane and Pujara, fine. They were not scoring runs, you pushed them out. Now the PR has started to show that the scanner is on 4 senior players. Why 4 senior players?
Why
Jadeja
not
picked up a 10-wicket haul in the match. Ashwin was superb in the last series. Why will you throw them out? Yes, you will question them. But the major concern is Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And Virat Kohli of all. Rohit Sharma as a captain has been absolutely flop. But Rohit Sharma scored runs against England. Virat Kohli, when did he last score runs? His last 100 came against Australia in the
T20 World Cup final, he scored.
Oh yes. 1 innings. Apart from what did he do?
A good test.
And then he retired. And then he retired. Retired from that after being in the T20 World Cup. So this is not about 15 days. It has been brewing long in the past.
And also what irritates me is that the approach that Saurav is talking about, that we used to spend like 2021 you specifically mentioned. In that Gabba test also, if you remember, Rohit and Gill started very well. Gill scored a 91, Rohit got out early. And then we went to England and, then we went to England and Rohit consistently churned out those first 10 overs where he would just defend and defend. Where has that gone? My question is, where, like, that same batsman, why are we forcing this Indian team on difficult tracks to, be aggressive and get out? It's okay. It's almost like, if you got out, that's completely fine. There's full immunity to it. Full immunity has resulted in a 3-0 test loss, and it has implications on the Australia series where you now have to win 4 and draw 1 to get into the WTC finals.
Let's not think about WTC finals. Let's be realistic. Let's think about avoiding a whitewash there. That is realistic thinking. Due respect to what New Zealand have done in India, they probably don't deserve to win 3-0.
Yeah, like
and
if
you handed it over on a platter to them.
Absolutely, you did.
It's in sport, it's not about deserving. You have to get there. You have to do it. But they are not a team who can win 3-0 India.
Yeah.
They are not a team who can win 3-0 India. Even if probably Bangladesh had beaten us in one test, that probably would have sounded fair in a parallel world. But this is beyond believable. This is just one test, you got spooked. And where is that fighting, the ability to fight back? Where has that gone? So much of things have been said. I've never seen an Indian team that has spoken so much and done so little.
Yeah.
Yes, Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli have spoken so many things in the past.
Yes.
When Ravi Shastri said this was probably the finest travelling team in the 15 years after that first 2018 England series, people laughed at Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli. But what they did over the next 3 years, you can hardly argue. Was there a better travelling team than that? I would say no. Regardless of the results, the way they played their cricket in South Africa in those dangerous conditions and won that last test, 2-1 in England before things went down south for Virat Kohli, and Bumrah led them in the 5th test. Things did not go up. I'm not blaming Bumrah here. I'm just blaming the team. And the way they played in South Africa, plus the way they played in South Africa after that, Kohli stepping down, those things highlight a bulk of difference. I don't know. Probably Gambhir and Rohit don't seem to be a good combination. Is that what it is? Should we blame Gambhir?
That is where I was also going to come to.
You can lose a test match. What was your coaching staff doing when you were playing those horrible shots over a period of 6 innings?
Yeah.
Was there no one to tell you? Was there no one to tell Rohit Sharma, don't have long on and long off? When you have them, when you're looking for early wickets, you're having a long on and a long off. Who is to be blamed for this?
This is what I want to talk.
Yeah.
So Rohit Sharma as a test captain, maybe now it looks like Rohit Sharma as a test captain has been ordinary throughout. It was Rahul Dravid's brilliance as a coach that was helping him win series at home also. That England series, you lost in Hyderabad, and you actually gave the test away from a position where you could have won it. Fine. England spinners, Tom Hartley, Shoaib Bashir, they were making their debuts. They were young spinners, and they were brought in to tackle Indian challenge, and they won a test match. But then Rahul Dravid, I think his coaching staff, and he has to be credited for that, the way they worked behind the scenes with the team, these young boys, because there was no KL Rahul, there was no Virat Kohli. You handed debut to Sarfaraz, Dhruv Jurel, Devdar Padikkal, and Akash Deep. I think these were the and Rajat Patidar also. Patidar failed in that series, but these were the cricketers that were handed debuts. So now it seems that Rohit Sharma as a test captain is beyond ordinary, and it was Rahul Dravid's brilliance that was helping you win matches. And now when Gambhir has become the head coach, so Gambhir has lost an ODI series in Sri Lanka, a historic low, 30 years, first in 30 years, and now a 3-0 series test loss. I don't think, if you talk about me, I had never thought that in my lifetime I will see a team coming to India and handing us a series defeat, let alone whitewash.
Yeah.
Because Gautam Gambhir, for all he comes and says, like Kingshuk pointed out, my style is winning style. What did you win?
No, my biggest question
and one more question I want to raise. Please, just one more thing. So my question is, so I think there have been 2 press conferences in the series when Gambhir has come out, and he comes out and said, if you liked Kanpur, then you have to accept Bengaluru.
Yeah.
What nonsense are you talking about? You yourself are one of those cricketers who have played one of the greatest test knocks.
Yeah, in New Zealand, Napier.
And to mask your shortcomings as a coach, you said that was a different era. Gautam Gambhir as a head coach You got your all your IPL staff from KKR. Do you think, nothing against that Netherlands guy, Ryan, but can he teach us how to play spin? How many test matches has he played?
He was a very good spin batter, to be honest.
But can you teach us how to play spin?
Yeah. But I think at that level also, people who have
played Test cricket.
Yeah.
No. So at that level also, who will go and tell Virat Kohli how to play spin?
Yeah. My concern is, in a country like India, where you have had so many legendary players who know how to play spin.
Yeah.
I remember when Ganguly went to Australia in 2003, 2004, he had a problem with playing short balls. So Greg Chappell was in Australia and Ganguly went and met Greg Chappell. John Wright makes sure that these two had a session. After that, Ganguly, as a batter, he was a captain. He had no need to do that. He scored a century at Gaba. Okay, so now your captain, what is wrong with him? Because, one more thing. So, like you wrote in your article, beautiful article, that how spin has become the kryptonite for Indian team. Rohit Sharma is the only guy who's getting out to pace bowlers.
Yeah. Same off-stump line.
Same off-stump line. Face spin. He doesn't last long to face spin.
Because he does not want to defend anything. And yes, it's good that you have accepted, but you have to work on it, right?
Yeah.
Now you are going to face Australia. Leave WTC. We don't care about WTC. Because this test series loss is going to be the biggest blot on our cricket history.
Yeah.
I did not expect this to happen.
Yeah.
Fine. And now you're going to Australia, where you had won in the last two series. I am seriously doubting that you will even be able to challenge this Australian team.
I think Akshay's prediction was 3-1 for Australia. In the favor of India.
I saw a tweet which said Gambhir will slowly realize that people will want more accountability from him while being a head coach than being an MP.
Yeah.
That probably he
absolutely.
will realize.
Yeah, you know what? That's my thing. Like, you correctly point out this out. How many times did Gambhir come out to the press after the match was lost?
Yes.
All of that word, all of bakwas, ye sab, like we will do this, we will do that.
My biggest concern is you talk about your winning mentality and all that is fine. Like he said, if you want Kanpur, then you have to endure Bengaluru is nonsense. I will not drop players, but I'll pick players. Why? Yes, Washington Sundar did so very well. But why did you bring him into your squad? Bring him into your squad.
What was Akshar doing?
What will that reflect on Akshar Patel and Kuldeep Yadav?
Absolutely.
What has Akshar done wrong?
Yeah.
What has Kuldeep done wrong? Have India not won a test series against England with two left-arm spinners? England had left-hand batters. It's not that England did not have left-hand batters. They had left-hand batters, right? So I am just, really confused about the things that you speak in the press and the things that you do.
Yes.
There was no need to bring Washington Sundar into the series. He did not have a great domestic series. You could have waited if you probably wanted a spinner to play. If you're thinking about having a backup for Ashwin, then you should have waited until the third test.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give the players whom you picked in your original squad chances and then move on.
Pick players.
Now you have picked players. Now you have discarded Akshar Patel.
Yeah.
He's not going to travel to Australia. And the biggest point of difference over the last few home series has been the batting of the lower middle order.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ashwin and Jadeja to an extent, yes, but they could not come up with the goods. But how long will you depend on them? As in, they are also bound to have an on-series.
And why should you depend on them in terms of batting?
Akshar averages 35 with the bat.
Yeah.
If you really thought well, then you would have picked Akshar for that backup safety. We were all worried. We were all concerned. Why are they not playing an extra pacer? Yeah. We asked questions of Rahul Dravid's team management. When your top 6 is this brittle, then probably you might have to depend on these two. But my question is here.
Yeah.
You can blame a lot of people. Yes, Gambhir is getting into the job, but he has found it very difficult. But someone like a Virat Kohli, someone like a Rohit Sharma have had their time. Virat Kohli averages like 30 odd in the last 4-5 years. Any other team would have just moved on. Any other player, they would have moved on.
At least rested him for some match.
And if you want to improve, you have to play domestic cricket.
Absolutely.
You just can't say that you have retired from one format. You have time. Yes, your personal commitments are as important as your professional commitments.
Yeah.
But when you're not scoring runs, shouldn't you take time to play that one Duleep Trophy match? To play that one Irani Cup match? Tell the team. I read reports saying that it was these 3 that said they would not play. And then they had to release Ravindra Jadeja after that. If this is the case, is it time to move beyond, look beyond Rohit and Virat in the test team. And unfortunately, the dagger will fall on Ashwin and Jadeja, like you guys pointed out. But they have been consistent match winners. At 34, 35, they have never dipped. They picked wickets. And rightfully, if you were to ask, I would look beyond Rohit and Virat. Probably would not even have taken them to Australia. You fail with a young team, that's not a problem. And why will you announce a squad in the middle of a test? Why will you give that security to players who have not performed to the best of their abilities? What would that tell to someone like an Eastwaran, someone like, so many people who are waiting for their chances by doing consistently in domestic cricket? They find this baffling.
I think the second that we drop the series in Australia, I think we are done. I think Virat and Rohit are mostly done. Not in the sense that they will retire or they will be made to retire. A strong warning will come that listen, the next test series is England. Figure out your nonsense before that.
But
I don't agree with Inshu's assessment. I think that warning should come now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you are great, whatever great you are, let's talk about Virat Kohli. Okay. He did not play the England series. He played a T20 World Cup. He played the whole IPL. He played the T20 World Cup. Then he played the Sri Lanka series. Then he played the Bangladesh test. Okay. How many matches has he played? What are you trying? What workload management are you trying to have as a batter?
You've retired from a format.
You are retired from a format. Sachin Tendulkar, for all, he played domestic matches till his retirement.
Yeah.
Fine. And Sachin Tendulkar, in his last phase, I was reading a stat.
Virat Kohli's last Ranji match is before Sachin Tendulkar's last Ranji match.
So, Virat Kohli...
But don't you think the eras are different, sir?
This is...
probably Virat has 14 IPL games to play.
It's not just Rohit who has PR.
Yeah.
It's
no.
Virat also has his PR.
Fortunately, not 16, 17 IPL matches, but he at least has to play 14 IPL matches.
No, 14 T20 matches.
Yeah.
How many... see, Sachin Tendulkar, I remember when I was a kid and I used to watch these cricketers, they used to play Challenger Trophy, where India A, India B, India C, I think India Blue, India Green, they used to play.
Yeah.
Then they will play the Ranji Trophy matches.
Yeah. Even Devang Gandhi in a recent interview to PTI said how they played an ODI series and played semi-finals and finals of a Ranji Trophy back to back.
Yeah. Ganguly, for all that he was, when he was dropped by Greg Chappell, he made his comeback by scoring runs in Ranji Trophy.
Yeah.
Fine. I was reading a former senior journalist Vijay Lokapalli's tweet where he was saying that when India lost to West Indies in Barbados and they got bowled out for 87, Sachin was very disappointed. He comes to India, what he does is, he goes on to the ground, he tries playing. He plays the game.
But Virat did have practice sessions against Anushka, right?
Yeah, see.
That's...
no, let's not get into that. Yeah,
unnecessary comment to make.
No, my simple concern is, see, you might be great of the game, but you're not bigger than the game.
Yeah.
Fine. You are a centrally contracted player. You are responsible, and you should be answerable to the board, to the fans, because fans are the biggest stakeholders in the game.
Yeah. I would not, to be fair, I would not even blame Rohit Sharma if he wants to miss a couple of Duleep Trophy games. Virat Kohli has been pathetic with the bat.
Absolutely.
But why that double standard? Why are you asking?
Rohit has
based
been
on
scoring runs.
England
has been
series.
scoring runs.
And Rohit, if you see how Rohit has got out by playing shots.
Yeah.
Virat has got out because he has no clue what the ball is doing.
Yeah.
And that is because Kumble said, when Kumble was asked by, I think, Abhinav Mukund, do you think Virat should have played one domestic game before this test series against Bangladesh and New Zealand? Kumble said maybe. Because however net sections you might have, playing in an actual match gives you a different simulation.
Yeah.
They have practiced the match practice in Australia also.
You would have had exposure against good spinners.
Yeah.
Because Indian domestic teams have good spinners.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not like they don't have good spinners.
You look at Australian team. Look at Australian team.
But then you might be found out, na?
That is where you have to be found out.
These Australian cricketers.
It doesn't matter. When you play for India, if you don't do well, you're found out there also. Better you get found out in domestic cricket and find ways to work on it.
A certain Pat Cummins, a certain Mitchell Stark, they were playing Sheffield Shield. Now they are playing the ODI series against Pakistan.
Yeah.
And then they'll play the Test series. Are they taking rest? No. They took their break. Yes, they took their break. Your players also take their break. But then when Cummins comes back, he's fresh.
No, for a major series, they plan accordingly.
Yeah, they plan accordingly.
It's not like they land in the country 5 days ago and then they go join the camp.
Absolutely.
That's not how it works, right?
And whatever you might say, I'm telling you, this test series is a blot on Indian cricket, but it's also doing a great service to Indian cricket. Now, you have realized that the team which was actually winning was winning somehow. Now, you have realized that the team is actually in transition and you need to take the harsh calls.
Yeah.
everybody has called out the senior players. Why? Because senior players are not scoring runs. I will not throw out Ashwin or Jadeja
And
because
senior players not senior player 2 only.
Oh,
There are
let-
no other
let-
senior
let me
One
players.
complete
senior
my
player,
sentence.
you sat him out throughout the test series.
Let me complete
KL
my sentence.
Rahul.
Yeah, let me complete. So I will not question R. Ashwin Jadeja. R. Ashwin had one flop series, but he was very good against Bangladesh. Jadeja has been picking wickets. That is his primary job.
Yeah.
And he has been scoring runs. When Rishabh Pant can score runs, why can't these senior players score runs?
Lack of
Questions-
clarity.
I will not question Sarfraz Ahmed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarfraz
Sarfraz
Khan.
You can't question Sarfraz Ahmed. Saurabh.
Yeah, because he's already out of the team.
Yeah.
So, my simple concern is whatever you do, please respect the national team, the fans, and you have to understand that you are contracted to BCCI.
Yeah.
So you can't be making unilateral decisions.
Yeah.
And Gambhir also, I read a PTI report which said that Gambhir had got more power than Shastri had when he was the coach. Gambhir was sitting in the selection panel meetings. I think they will take away that power from Gambhir. And maybe if we lose the test series against Australia, it might be time up for Gambhir.
Because
You know,
Australia
time
series
up
they
for-
lead up
Talking
Gambhir,
about
yeah.
time up.
Yeah.
Shouldn't Rohit have quit captaincy by now? What's the point of going to Australia as captain when you've failed so miserably at home? I don't know. I said, if it
No.
were anyone else
Yeah.
losing 3-0 at home, not to Australia, not to that 2017 Steve Smith led Australia, not to the 2012 Alistair Cook led England, to a side which didn't have their best batter, and which had an aging fast bowler in Tim Southee. Kane Williamson was not here. Probably he should have quit by now, don't you think?
Look at the team that defeated you, the team you're talking about. So they'll lose a test series in Sri Lanka. The captain resigns. They appoint a new captain.
Made to resign. Tim Southee was made to. That was the bold call that happened essentially.
The captain, they go back to New Zealand, they appoint a new captain, and then you win a historic series in India. Something which has never been done, you do it. Not just because you are brilliant, but because you have plans for everything.
No, my only concern is, it's not like that you don't have a successor.
Yeah.
You have a successor. You already have Jasprit
Who
Bumrah as your
will
vice
you make?
captain.
I want to ask both of you. Who will you make India's next test captain if Rohit Sharma retires?
Bumrah is the only correct call, yaar.
I have discussed so many times in this podcast that Rishabh Pant is my choice
So,
as a test
No.
captain.
I
But
agree-
you still
I agree
have,
with- I agree
but you
with
still have Jasprit Bumrah. Not a bad
I
call.
respect the succession plan.
And
Bumrah has
of course,
to-
Jasprit
Bumrah
Bumrah
has
is
to
not a
come
bad
in.
call.
No,
And
it's
if
not
you
about his
want,
bad call. My
Yeah.
problem with Bumrah is he's a great player, but with Bumrah comes the workload management bit.
yeah.
And a captain has to play every match.
He can't play.
He can't
he
play
probably
every
can't
day.
play 5
Cummins
tests in
also
Australia.
takes breaks.
No, Cummins
not-
Cummins is not sick.
He's also an all format player.
But Cummins, when you talk about Pat Cummins played the ODI World Cup and he plans his breaks accordingly.
That is what I'm saying.
He doesn't
With
have
Bumrah-
to pay IPL every year.
But he did play the full season.
No, one season.
When
and then
he-
For
When there's a major tour, you see him coming to the IPL. He might not come to the IPL.
Bumrah
Can't say that. Even if he wants to skip IPL, or even if he wants to probably skip a couple of ODI series, probably no.
And Pat Cummins is, I will again say this, Pat Cummins is a great bowler, but he's not that important to Australia as Bumrah is to India. Bumrah is your one-man match winner.
Yeah.
Pat Cummins has a couple of bowlers
good
who can
support
support him.
around.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Josh Hazelwood.
So the workload management comes in. That is why I don't want Bumrah to have that added pressure and
No,
load of
my
captaincy.
question both of you haven't answered.
Yeah.
Should Rohit have quit or not?
No, I don't think so. Because causing panic will not help before Australia. At least there is a mathematical chance for you to go to the WTC final and then play it. If you cause panic now,
No, a guy who set a long off and a long on in a home test.
see lots.
Do you think-
lots and
Do you
lots
think
of
he's-
things
Do
happen.
you think he's capable of getting a leg side trap and then asking Mohammad Siraj to bowl that line?
No,
And
definitely.
then getting Manas Labuschagne and Steve
See,
Smith out.
Maybe if he asks his partner Virat Kohli to set the field for him, then you can probably get a couple
Yeah,
of more
maybe
wickets.
ask Virat to whatever that is. But at least for me, like in the tactical bits,
Yeah.
should the coach not front up the press once
When
in the entire
my
series?
my
Blame
only
the coach all you want.
but
And
Tactically, team
and,
किसको
and
blame
he
करेंगे
has
भाई?
to be blamed. Yes, he has to be blamed. I'm not saying you are wrong. You are absolutely right. But Rohit Sharma has to take up responsibility. And if he's not playing the Perth test, and if India lose the Perth test, what is going to happen next?
Yeah.
Then he comes back and then he has to say, "Oh, I was not the captain in Perth test."
or if
Yeah.
you win, or if India win the
if we
first
win
test.
and somebody like Ruturaj
Yes.
or Iswaran or KL do well at that position,
Yeah.
what do you do then? I mean,
Ruturaj-
obviously,
My question is that.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm sorry, Rohit Sharma, the limited over cricketer, is one of the greats of the game. Rohit Sharma, a test cricketer, is slowly fading away. And he should retire on a high note.
Yeah.
I don't know if that high note will come in this series or not, but I think he should retire on a high note.
You know, my biggest, as in like, we tend to, we tend to loosely associate the term great, loosely associate the term legend. It's become a thing in sport. Like, okay, if someone does well for a couple of years, then we call him a great and legend. When Ajinkya Rahane won that Border Gavaskar trophy, when Ajinkya Rahane won that Dharamsala test for you when you were under immense pressure against that Steve Smith-led team, they were like, okay, but when Rohit wins that Kanpur test, we write prose and poetry about him.
You do.
No,
you also did. You also did because that is the thing to celebrate. I don't understand why you need to equate these two things.
You can celebrate. You can celebrate. Without taking names, I'm saying no other captain has had this much of an impact.
Why?
Probably Rohit has had this much impact. To win a fucking Border Gavaskar trophy when half of your team was in the ambulance takes more guts than, to, with all due respect, beating Bangladesh 2-0 at home.
At home, definitely, 100%.
And
that is without a question.
You know why this is
and
being called out?
Tell, hand on heart, tell me Rohit and Gambhir did not take New Zealand lightly.
They did.
They
were all confident.
100%.
And I'm telling you why this is being called out. Because your coach comes out in public and he has this thing. Oh, if you like Kanpur, you have to accept Bengaluru. So if you come out and say this, you make that excuse, then we will point out that yes, you won the test, but it was not a great win.
Yeah.
It was a very good win. You can't take that away from this team, but it was not a great win because it came against Bangladesh.
Yeah.
You did not defeat prime Australia. I'm sorry.
And when you're on the outside, like we also, when you're on the outside and you're making statements like what has some ex achieved in his career, and when you lose 3-0 at home, probably you should tone down and you should think about how to make the team win rather than, fronting up to the press and talking bullshit.
And I have one more concern.
Yeah.
So my concern is with the board. Two things. Like you pointed out. Why we announce the squad before the test series is finished? Why you're giving the players that sense of security? That, okay, you don't perform, you are in the squad. You don't have to worry. Second thing, why will you have an IPL attention day?
Oh,
just
my
to
Lord,
a series.
yes.
And then you are going to have an IPL auction when the first test of the biggest test series is going to be on, reportedly.
Yeah.
I don't agree with this.
Now, more than the IPL auction.
I'm not blaming IPL, but the timing of things that have been scheduled.
More than the auction. Auction is just a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to bargain, where you don't have to, get into the communication channel with franchises, with other franchises. This retention, probably, which happened before the third test, was a huge thing because we all know that so many players were in touch with the team owners.
Yeah.
So many
videos had to be made.
So many things
had
to be done.
There was traveling going on. People were going on to Dubai.
Exactly.
To London to meet the owners, discuss the plans, what is going to happen.
Yeah, but I don't agree with having the auction during BGT also because at the end of the day, these things do play in players' minds.
Absolutely, it does.
Kya hua, kisko liya,
you're
kahan se
basic
gaya.
Human being.
Exactly. You're
every player has the right to think about money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why
So
not?
why do it?
Why not?
Why
so it has to be the board's call.
Yeah.
And for all you have done, this year was supposed to be a silver lining in our cricket history because we won a T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
But as it's going down, we have lost a test series to New Zealand 3-0 and we might
probably
lose a test
by the
series
end
to
of the
Australia.
year, you might be 3-0 in Australia.
Yeah, absolutely. You might be.
Yeah.
But I still think we will win though.
Yeah.
I still think
after the
we might
Boxing
not
Day,
reach.
it's just a Sydney New Year's test, right? After New Year's test, you're coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then 4-0. Chances of 4-0 is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But last question.
Yeah.
Do you give this Indian team a chance that they can win this test series in Australia? Do you think they can?
Yeah. I think they can.
Okay.
Provided the Australian curators don't give you spinning tracks. Give them bounce. I seriously think that India are better equipped to play on pitches
in
that
Australian
don't
pitches,
seem like England or South Africa.
Yes.
The Australian pitches, you see off the new ball, just tell Rohit Sharma that you're playing test cricket. Do what you did, probably in England. Just see off the first 20 overs and you will get good periods of play. Yes, the Kookaburra ball keeps doing a bit throughout the day, but it's not going to be overcast. It's not going to be as drastic. Or going to seam of the, it's not going to swing in the air. Probably seam movement will be there. And in Indian players like Shubman Gill, Virat, and all of them enjoy bounce.
Yeah.
They can, that probably will work in India's favor, the conditions. But the confidence is something that I don't know. The conditions will be in India's favor, but 3-0 at home, not many have expected. If you're mentally good enough, I I still think Gambhir and Rohit are proud men. They have their egos have been bruised.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't take emotional calls. They take rational calls. They sit back, think what's good for the team, think about strategies. Don't talk too much. Anyways, Australian media and Australians will talk a lot. You don't do the talking job. You do the work, actual work on the field is what I think. And to answer your question straight, yes, I think India can win a series.
Scoreline. What do you think? Because scoreline matters in this series, right?
Yeah.
What do you think the scoreline is going to be?
3-2 if India are going to win.
3-2. So yeah, pretty much the same, because I don't think we are reaching the WTC final unless a lot of other results happen.
You can reach with 3-2 also. You can reach with 3-2.
Yeah, you can reach with 2-0 also, but then a lot of things need to happen. But I think we will do
Pakistan
much better.
beating South Africa 2-0.
Yes.
Go Pakistan.
I also think that we will do much better.
Yeah.
But I am not backing the Indian team to do well because these are proud men or they can make a comeback. I believe that just because they don't control the pitches, they will play better cricket there.
Okay.
Because
when you
I
make
was
the
going
pitches,
to say that. Yeah.
Because when Rohit Sharma's team makes the pitch, Rohit Sharma's team goes on to lose a match. Lose a test match and ODI match.
The World Cup final.
Yeah, 19th November is coming. We know what happened on that day, 1 year back.
Yeah.
So Rohit Sharma, please keep him away from the pitch. Just tell him you have to play test cricket. You will win the series at least 4-1, if not more.
4-1.
Yeah.
And if you wish to extend your career after that BGT, you come back to the Ranji Trophy scheme.
They are not coming back to
that
Ranji.
has to happen. Else, let's move on from them.
I think it'll be a good precedent for Virat and Rohit to set by playing a couple of domestic matches. Of course, not now. Probably they can play one round before they go to Australia, but it'll be a good precedent if they do so.
When will they play one round before they go to Australia? Today's 4th. They're flying out on 10th.
6th is the next round of Ranji Trophy.
Yeah, so they're not playing at all. There's no chance that you're going to play.
Head Sida from wherever you are. Assemble.
Fine.
As in, that will be a good precedent for the next gen. Like, you're passing the mantle. And if you do well after that, it'll be a good confidence booster for you as well. But I don't know. But these are all probably...
These are all questions
wishes,
that the coach might answer.
Coach might answer. Before pre-departure press conference will be there.
Yeah.
Probably they'll say that pitch paad mein jayega.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. But, okay, the next 2 weeks are going to be stormy. Plenty of things are going to be spoken about. The Australian media will keep speaking about it. And it's time for us to, ask our listeners and viewers what they thought about the 3-0 drubbing and what they think about the Border Gavaskar Trophy. If you're listening to this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please do rate us. You can send in your feedback on 8588966996. You can also email us at pods@indiatoday.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, like we always say, please leave a comment or two. We'll be so happy to learn your feedback. Thank you. Have a great week.